Okay, in this video we're going to talk about simplifying expressions using the properties of exponents. If you haven't watched the properties of exponents video, I would recommend that you watch that before doing these problems because I'm just going to be using the properties here. In that video I talk about kind of where those properties come from. Okay, so for this first problem we have 4x squared times y cubed divided by 8 to the negative 8 y squared. So I personally suggest kind of keying in on your different variables. So I have a 4, and I'm just going to pull that out in front, times I have an x squared in the numerator, and in the denominator I have a factor of x to the negative 8. And then I have y cubed, and in the denominator I have a y squared. Now you don't have to write it out like this every time, but I would recommend thinking of it kind of in this manner. So I'm going to leave my 4 alone. There's not really anything to simplify there. But then when I look at my x squared divided by x to the negative 8, I know that the x to the negative 8 can be popped up into the numerator because of the negative in the exponent. So I have this as times x to the 10. And then I have times, we have y cubed over y squared, which simplifies to y to the first power. So we're just going to leave it as y. So the final answer would be 4x to the 10th times y. Okay, so for the second problem, we have 9x y to the negative 2 all cubed divided by y to the 4th. So the first thing that I'm going to do is kind of distribute this exponent of 3. So I'm going to write this as 9 cubed times x cubed times y to the negative 2 cubed. And then I have this being divided by y to the 4th, which in the next step I'm just going to write as a fraction. So we can actually calculate 9 cubed. That's going to be 9 times 9 times 9, so 81 times 9, which when we type into a calculator is 729. Then we have x cubed, and now this y to the negative 2 cubed, we know that we can multiply the negative 2 and negative 3. So we have y to the negative 6, and then I'm dividing by y to the 4th. Now I have these y's in the numerator and denominator, so I can probably simplify something here. So I've got 729x cubed. The y to the negative 6 can be put in the denominator, so now I have y to the 10th. And this would be our final answer. Alright, so this next one we have square root of 16y to the 4th times x to the negative 2 divided by y squared. So I'm going to start off by simplifying the square root of 16y to the 4th. So by properties of square roots, I can take this as square root of 16 times square root of y to the 4th, x to the negative 2 over y squared. Well, the square root of 16 is just 4. And then the square root of y to the 4th, keep in mind that the square root is just notation for having an exponent of 1/2. So if I take 1/2 of 4, I end up getting 2. So square root of y to the 4th is y squared. And then I have this x to the negative 2 over y squared. Our y squareds end up canceling out, and we get 4x to the negative 2, which I can pop into the denominator, and so I get 4 over x squared. Alright, now for this next one. We have x cubed y squared all to the 6th times x y to the 6th all to the negative 2. divided by x cubed times y cubed. All right, so we have some exponents to distribute right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. So I have x cubed to the 6th, or x to the 3 times 6, which is 18, and then y squared to the 6th, or y to the 2 times 6, so y to the 12. Now I have x to the negative 2, and a y to the 6 times negative 2, or negative 12. And then I divide this by x cubed, y cubed. Now I'm going to start combining my like variables. So I have an x to the 18 and an x to the negative 2, which simplifies to an x to the 16 in the numerator. Y to the 12 times y to the negative 12 simplifies to y to the 0, or 1. And then I have divided by x cubed, y cubed. When I simplify the x to the 16 over x cubed, I end up getting x to the 13 divided by y cubed. And so this would be my final answer here.